Hi, my name is Brendan. Pat. Walt.
Mary Ellen.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Debbie.
And I'm Steve Andrzejewski, and I'm here to tell you today the difference between engaged and disengaged students and the role of vocational education and how it's played out to reach these disengaged students. We start with a Chinese proverb. Tell me, and I forget. Show me, and I remember. Involve me, and I understand. I believe that no truer words could be spoken when it comes to motivating kids within education. Today I'm here to tell you the difference between engaged and disengaged students, characteristics of each, and the role that vocational education can play in reaching some of these disengaged students. As fellow educators and former students yourself, I believe that this topic all of you will be able to relate to. And as a vocational educator and former disengaged student, I share professional and personal experience on this topic. Engaged students. According to Lawrence Steinberg, professor of psychology at Temple University and author of Beyond the Classroom, fall under two characteristics, two types. You have emotional and you have behavioral engagement. Emotionally, an engaged student tries hard in school, believes that doing well in school is important, and has faith in what they're learning is valuable. Behaviorally, they attend class. They try reasonably hard to do well in them, and they complete the homework, and they do not cheat. These students are also known as intrinsically motivated students, meaning that they do this schoolwork for achievement, not for the consequences of failure or for any external reward. They are therefore intrinsically motivated. In contrast, disengaged students are not intrinsically motivated. Again, according to Steinberg, it falls under two categories: emotional and behavioral. These students struggle with schoolwork in traditional school settings. Behaviorally, they cut class. They exert little effort, they take easier classes, and they fail to do the work that is assigned to them. Emotionally, they have a low need for achievement. They have weak work ethic and a negative orientation towards school. These students are motivated by external reward or by suffering the consequences of not succeeding. Therefore, these students are known as extrinsically motivated students. From my experience, these students do not do well in a traditional school setting. Therefore, disengaged students need an alternative to traditional school settings. This is where vocational education comes into play. According to Kenneth C. Gray and Edwin L. Hur, authors of Other Ways to Win, vocational educators have found that even the most disengaged students can be motivated to learn basic academics through the skills they see the need for as it pertains to work they wish to pursue. In other words, these students will want to learn these basic academic skills if they see that it's going to pay them in the long run. They're going to need these skills for work, for achievement, for success in their future careers. As a culinary instructor, I see this on a daily basis. I have students who otherwise do horribly in math come to my class, learn fractions, learn measurements, learn recipe conversions. And at the end of the day, when I let them know what they're doing and what they've achieved, they're astonished that they know a half plus a quarter is 3/4. It's remarkable, the look on these students' face once they see that they are able to achieve these basic academic skills that for so long they were not able to in a traditional school setting. There's a great book out there, Hints for the Highly Effective Instructor, by W.R. and M.F. Miller. Basically, one of the quotes I've taken out, they say that most put forth good effort when they feel that it will help them reach their goals and satisfy their needs. Well, with vocational education and this hands-on learning, they put forth every day great effort to achieve the goals or completed work at the end of the day. Most VOTEC students, vocational education, students, are considered, and from professional and a personal level, to be disengaged students. However, I believe that vocational education gives some of these students the spark that they need to become engaged students. Last year, I had a young man come to me who was absolutely struggling with traditional school. He was ready to drop out. He had it with academics. It was his senior year in high school. Comes to me. I give him a spark. I give him an interest. I show him what cooking is all about. I help him a little bit with learning some basic math, with learning some more basic reading skills. The kid sticks it out. Graduates from high school, comes up to me after graduation, shakes my hand, and personally thanks me for helping him graduate and succeed in school. Had it not been for me, this young man told me that he would have dropped out of high school. With that said, vocational education provides daily hands-on activity for these students. It gets them up and moving around, involved, instead of sitting in chairs and at desks, grinding it out. Remember the proverb, involve me and I understand. Utilizing skills just learned through real-life scenarios. In other words, I sit down with a student, I go over a recipe, I teach them how to convert it. Then what do? They go make that recipe. They get in there with their hands, which leads me into how the students then feel a strong sense of pride in their completed work. When they've made something that is delicious, they taste it, they're astonished. The vice principal, the principal comes in, or their peers, and they share and they indulge in this great meal, and they get back to this student and tell them how much of a great job they have done. No, the majority of these students have never been told this. They've never been told that they do a great job. Now all of a sudden, they're completing great work and they're being told that they're doing a great job. Disengaged students now become engaged. Let me close by saying that I believe there is no other alternative out there better for these disengaged students than a vocational education. I've seen it reach many different kids on many different levels. During my speech, I informed you of some characteristics of engaged students, characteristics of disengaged students, and the importance and the role that vocational education can play in reaching some of these students. I encourage you as fellow educators, whether traditional school setting or vocational education setting, to get these kids involved. Teach them, show them through real life scenarios. You've all been there, you know. Let them know the importance of what they are learning, how it's going to help them succeed once they get out of school, once they're past school, how they're going to get their paycheck at the end of the week. Get them up, get them moving around. Don't have them sitting down all day. And you will have a much better outcome for your students emotionally, behaviorally, and academically. In the beginning, I quoted a Chinese proverb that speaks to the importance of engaging students by involving them. This is the foundation in which vocational education was built upon. I want to thank everybody for their time tonight and open up the floor for questions.
I have a question, Steve.
Yes.
How long have you been an instructor in vocational education?
I've been a vocational education instructor for 2.5 years.
I got one.
Yes.
The students that you have on average, how many in your class are disengaged? What percentage?
I'd say about 75% of the students I receive generally are disengaged when they come to me. After some time, after a couple months, getting them in, suited up, they pretty much about 75% of them turn into engaged students. You can't save them all, but you get a good majority of them. Anything else? Thank you very much for your time, folks. Have a nice evening.